Hello and welcome to a new video. Since I went back to England for the summer, I thought I'd show you a video starting with my house. Yep, so as you saw, there's the entrance. This is the study. Isn't it beautiful? Lots of lovely decorations on the wall and the ceiling. There's statues and paintings and all sorts. This is the dining room with lots of silver, and then if we go up the stairs we can see there's more rooms up here. This one's a bit empty. I just like to keep some plates, but there's so many rooms we don't know what to do in them.
State drawing room.
That was my mother, and if we look over here, here's a model of the house. It's the only way I could show you all of it. And then this is the garden. Well, I'm lying because it's not really my house. Yeah, it's a bit too big to be my house. This is my house. No, I'm lying again. It's Buckingham Palace. But this really is my garden. As you can see, it's very nice with lots of plants and decorations. And we get lots of wildlife too. Here's a squirrel who's visiting one of the feeding boxes. They come quite often. I'm not chasing you. See you. Bye-bye. There's also many bugs. If you look closely, you can see lots of hoverflies. We had some other visitors too, but nicer. Here's my sister. Say something in English.
Say something in English. Hello, Japan.
Say something in Japanese.
Hello, Japan.
That's fair enough. My friend didn't want to be filmed, so I had to cut him out.
Something in English. Egg and chips, please.
Say something in Japanese.
Egg and chips, please.
Say something in Russian.
Egg and chips, please.
Say something different.
Something different.
Colin, say something different.
Ich bin eine Berliner.
What language is that?
Norwegian.
Okay, say something in Japanese.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Ooh, very good. I like that one. If I take a short bus ride from my mother's house, I can get to the town centre. I took some video as I was travelling. This nice looking building is actually a prison. And here you can see some regular British houses. They are very different from the Japanese. There's lots more space. Okay, here's the English market. It's a lot like the Japanese market. They sell similar items. But can you read the signs? Would you know what to buy? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, so they have fruits and they have vegetables. You can even buy flowers and decorations. There's some stalls that sell electronics and even picture cards. And since it was summer, they had a special display in the town centre. You could play in a sandpit or bounce on these trampolines. I also went to visit my dad, who lives in another town. This town's called Selby. It's to the north, and it's pretty much like many other English towns. I went there by train. Again, the train stations in England are very similar to Japan, but the trains are often late. You might see this fellow though. This is Paddington Bear. He's a famous British character, and he was found at a train station. So there's a train leaving, and this is what they look like inside. There's tables. Not on every chair, but some chairs have tables. And while I was in England, I went hiking. That's walking with my family. We went to a place called the Peak District, which is very beautiful countryside, as you can see. We stayed in this little village, and we would walk in the fields and the forests and the hills around the village. Here is a churchyard where many people are buried. As you can see, the gravestones are far apart. That's because people are buried in the ground. They're not always cremated in England, but the church has a nice bell tower, and they often play music to mark the time. We saw lots of wildlife on our walks. We passed rivers and lakes. There's often ducks who normally like to be fed, but here we can see the ducks, they're feeding themselves by getting some food from the bottom of the lake. In the many fields, there's sheep. He's walking between some fields. See, the wall is just made from stones. This is how they used to be made long ago. And here we have a horse, who for some reason is wearing a mask. I don't know why. In the town centre, the river had some more ducks, but also these geese were leaving in a nice procession.
That's the size of a rabbit.
Yeah.
And but their ears make them look big as well.
Yeah.
You don't often see them. They're solitary creatures, so you don't often see them like that
Yeah.
together. Perhaps courting for for a bit more breeding.
On one of our walks, we passed through a field of cows. Why not? It's not often you walk through cows. It's okay, don't have to move. I also enjoyed going to a British beach. You can see it's not very sunny and there's not many people, but it's quite nice because if I go to a sunny beach, I burn very easily. My skin goes red. So this beach is nice. But still, you have people involved in beach activities, like digging holes, it's popular for children. And on this beach, you can ride donkeys. common on British beaches to have what's called a promenade. It's lots of shops, cafes and restaurants by the sea, and they sell ice cream and fish and chips and things like that. So they are very popular. People also like walking along the beach barefoot. It's a lovely feeling. A lot of people like to just sit, relax, and watch the waves of the sea. It's very nice. Before I came back to Japan, I spent some time in London. Of course, I went by train. Here you can see some people looking at the display board. And I travelled by London Underground, which is very different to Japanese subways. You have to ride these long escalators. And to be honest, they make me feel a little dizzy because they are very steep and they take a long time. It's hard to tell which way is up and down. Outside of the station I saw this man. He's Scottish and he's playing the bagpipes. This is Green Park. Every time I come to London, I visit here, mainly because this is where some characters from my novel live. Depending on when you're watching this, I'm hoping to release my novel in October. That would be 2011. Some characters from that novel, Better Off Dead, live in Green Park. Actually, they live in the underground station, which is over there. But if I loiter around in the underground station, they'll probably think I'm a terrorist and arrest me, or shoot me and start another riot. So instead, I come to the park, and just over there, through the trees, is Buckingham Palace. Another point of interest close by is at the other end of the park and across the road there's the Japanese embassy. If you come to London, chances are you will go there. So why not visit this park? So here is Buckingham Palace. It's the home of the Queen of England, and as you can see it has many visitors from many different countries. It's always busy. Is there anybody home? I didn't see anybody that day, but outside the palace is guarded by the royal guards. They wear these red uniforms and bearskin hats. I saw many other British things too, like the Royal Mail Post and the famous telephone boxes. I saw a pub called the Rising Sun, which is a name for Japan. And then, of course, there were many Japanese restaurants. However, they were quite expensive, so I didn't go myself. I saw some familiar faces, like Hello Kitty, on English merchandise. And I saw this, an old police box from the 1960s.
Sayonara! Sayonara! Arigato!